Welcome to Late Night Chat with JT and Niko, episode 57.
What's going on, Niko?
Niko.
Hey. It's all right.
You awake there, Jay?
Yeah, I'm good.
Sometimes I wonder, you kind of stumble into these episodes.
Hey, it's good. You know, I put the Matthew McConaughey voice on, for the radio listeners.
All right.
And then I put the old man look on for the YouTube watchers.
I swear, sometimes I turn around and I feel like you're going to be falling asleep. What's going on, Niko?
I told you, man, I should be part of one of those lines where the girls can go rub it out if they need to. Hey, ladies, how you doing? Just tell me what you'd like me to do.
Sex lines? Do those still exist?
I do not know.
I think with the internet now, that doesn't exist anymore, right?
It's called view porn or something like that.
Well, no, but everybody does the webcamming now. Like, that's the thing.
Yeah, I guess so, too. I guess you could just talk to people through... Well, they always...
That's a good question.
Everything that pops up on the internet is
there's no way there's those phone call things you can call into
Well, it
anymore.
always says, yeah, let's chat, but it's supposed to be for your internet so you can see it every time they pop up on your, when you're on those sites that...
No, I don't know, Jay. I don't know.
Streaming, there's a lot of streaming sites that pop up, and a lot of those adult things pop up.
I've never seen these webcam sites. I don't know what you're talking about. Anyways, welcome back, everybody.
Yeah, fuck off. Welcome back.
No, we'll get back to this conversation. I'd like to get a bit into it. Listen, straight up, guys, I don't think we got much to say this episode, so this should be one of our fun little episodes here where we just shoot the shit with you guys.
We're Canadian.
Yeah, there you go. Whatever Jay said. What's going on, Niko?
Hey, listen. Fuck off, you. All right?
No, seriously, though. Do you think... I don't think
you know what it was? It was the ending of that song, man. It put me to sleep, bro. I've never heard the Superman version done so slow where it's making me want to fucking fall asleep.
I like the flip. I like how he kind of did it. I gotta say, it's no Superman, that's for sure. But I mean, like,
I was hoping to hear something different,
Yeah, some talking shit about women. There's not as much. Really, it's more shit talking about himself, like how he's down.
Yeah, he'd rather talk about how he's beating the pussy,
bro.
Right?
He's getting into his bag. That's Heartbreak Drake right there. No, it's not Heartbreak Drake, but that's more of
Chicago
like
Drake.
Yeah, well, no, this is that's the Drake. This is a different type of Drake. You know what I mean? This is a Drake we've heard many a times, but this is the Drake that's like pining for, his loved ones, or you know what I mean, trying to find a girl to love him, right? What women he's loved in the past and that have loved him back, He's trying to
go with it. Come on, I know where you're trying to go.
Catch a ting on the phone there, right? He's going through his phone, trying to call, hang out with mans and and women alike.
Gotta make sure he keeps up through his,
I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about, man.
Toronto, don't worry.
Listen, he's just not calling any women hoes. He's talking about sitting his drunk ass down after he's fucking flipping through his phone trying to hook up with one. Listen to the song. You okay?
I get it. I understand. I just said it doesn't. I haven't heard it put me to sleep like. But
that's that. Chicago Freestyle by Drake, one of the leaked songs from the Drake 2020 leak.
People's been listening to leaked songs, guys.
Yes, yesterday, it's apparently Drake's new album leak, but it wasn't. What it pretty much is some new songs, some snippets of things, and some old shit or some shit that's kind of came out over the last couple weeks that they've compiled together like for 14 tracks, and that they're calling the Drake 2020 leak. It's one of those things where like even he said, hey, yeah, the music's out there, so go ahead and enjoy it. If you like it, buy it when it comes out. But I think he's just unloading a bunch of old shit that's not going to be on the album right now. Like that's the move. Yeah, this isn't the album. I don't think so. I highly doubt it, because you got freestyles on here, you got snippets, you got a fucking old ass track on here that like came out earlier this like in 2019.
Yeah.
And again, I know that sometimes they release that shit slowly and then the album comes out, but I think this is just him kind of leaking things out that he's just basically trying to unload. Like, I mean, some of this shit might be on the album, I don't know, but I don't think this is the full album what we're hearing here. Like, this is
and it's not like it's easy to, you can't find it anywhere. It's not like it's something that's
it's floating around. I mean, you can find the link on Twitter if you look.
I was going crazy all day today.
It's titled, if anybody does want to try to take a look for it, it's called Drake Leak 2020, and it's like got a like photo of him kind of like throwing up like gang sign. Like that's the leak I found anyways. It's like basically him just going like this and a cover like that, right? And like covering his face kind of, And it's got some good tracks on there, though. I had listened to it a bit last night when I downloaded it. It's pretty good. But it's got that Chicago freestyle. It's got that other one that just dropped that he does over the Jay-Z beat. I think it's just Say When or whatever the hell it's called. But yeah, there's 14 songs on there. Like I said, some stuff you've heard maybe if you've been up to date with his recent releases that have been leaking. Some stuff that's new. A couple of snippets of things like minute stuff that I think that may be extended tracks or stuff that he you know what I mean, like dropped and maybe didn't make the cut. That's why I'm saying I think that's what this is. I think it's a bunch of stuff that didn't make the cut on the album or stuff that he was using to promote the album. But apparently, like everyone was calling it a leak.
He's even said it's out there.
He acknowledged that these songs leaked. Yes, he's saying that the songs leaked. And then the original statement that was made, the articles that I saw said just like his 2010 CD, this album has leaked a couple of weeks before its intended release or whatever. But I guarantee you that this was an intended leak of sorts, and that this isn't going to be the album. We'll see, but I don't think it is.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't think it is personally. But there's some good tracks on there. You got all kinds of different types of styles of Drake on this one too. This Leak 2020. So check it out if you can find it, guys. I guess we
can't find it anywhere. Fucking nothing. I was looking for it all day today after you.
Right. I guess let's start off talking about some
music
since we've kind of already started here, kind of without realizing.
Sure.
I just wanted to bring up the fact that we actually talked about it when you dropped me off the other day in the car for a little bit.
Yeah.
What a great start to 2020 for music, guys. This first quarter, man, we're talking between the Eminem album, which is arguably his best album, everyone is pretty much saying, unless you're a hater, like probably from the last few albums dropped.
Yeah.
You got the fucking, at the start of February, Lil Wayne's.
I totally had forgot about that one. I remember I told you it was
the Carter, what is it,
for
6?
some reason, yeah.
Carter 6 dropped.
Who knows? It was just a funeral.
Oh, yeah, it was just called Funeral. But essentially, like, that's what it was
Probably.
to me. Yeah,
maybe not, man.
No, it's called Funeral. You're right. And then... what else? Allegory, Royce the 5'9". This month now, actually, sorry, it's March now already.
Why do I feel like we're missing one?
Joiner's dropping at the end of
March?
this.
Why do I feel like
month?
we're missing the first? Where do I miss this? I thought
Jadakiss just dropped an album. I haven't listened to it yet, but I'm actually looking forward to listening to that. I'm a big Jadakiss fan. Griselda has already been talking like they're taking over the summer. Like they've continuously said that. Kendrick Lamar's supposed to be dropping a CD this year.
There's a lot of music coming
Big
out,
Sean's
right?
supposed to be dropping a CD this year. We're talking like top MCs like right now. Like people that are anticipated rappers that only put out an album every 2 to 3 years have all seemed to be dropping this year. And guys that have been around a long time too. Yeah. To be honest, the way 2020 is starting, it's like the old rappers here are trying to take it back this year, man. From the what I mean? Like honestly. Like it's one of those years.
Maybe it's going to be a competitive year between the old guys and the young guys.
I've been loving it so far, honestly. Like for me personally, I've been loving it, and who knows, baby, the baby might drop another project this year, right? So
they have 50's going to put out that. They're finishing the rest of the other album there from
50
Pop
is?
Smoke, I think, yeah.
Oh, yes, I saw that. Yeah, he's been hitting people up to kind of go on features and stuff like that. That's pretty cool.
Was weird, right?
Yeah, that's pretty cool. I like that he's doing that. So I mean, that's interesting that he'd be involved in something like that. He must have liked that kid a lot because, like, 50 doesn't really throw his hat in the ring for everything like that. You know what I mean?
His kids and shit in front of everybody. That's what he does.
Yeah.
So if he does that, I'm pretty sure he's a little bit fucking weird. He is a little bit of a weird character, right?
50? He's the original troll. 50's different.
It's all about him. I don't know.
50's different though, man. 50.
It's all about him, right? I mean, you get it, right? He's just got into his head. I
love 50.
I do
honestly,
too.
I like who he is, but you wouldn't want to be his friend. You know what I mean? Like I think it would be a hard guy to
deal with.
Yeah. I don't know.
Like you don't know if you want to tell him to fuck off or you want to believe him. Right?
I just don't think that
breaks balls a lot.
I don't think he's loyal. You know what I mean? Like I don't we've seen him, and don't get me wrong, these are a lot of people that have wronged him in some way or another, at least he felt so in his head.
Yeah.
But we've seen him knock people down that were associated with him over the years. You know what I mean? Like there was the whole Buck thing that went down.
Yeah.
There was the, Game and him had a falling out, but that was kind of a little bit different. I mean, I know some people consider these as beefs within his own crew, but like, I don't think he's, it seems like Yayo is the only guy out of G Unit he actually still kind of talks to on a regular. Like, he seems to kind of, like, whenever he's posting things, sometimes he's with him. Like,
Yeah,
occasionally.
but it doesn't seem to be anything like bad, like anything like not bad, but anything toward
Yeah,
trolling.
like Banks seems like a guy that kind of keeps to himself. Like, from what I'm just talking about G Unit right
Money
now.
changes everything.
But I mean, like, look, Floyd Mayweather, like, they had a falling out. Like, there's a lot of guys like were friends with him, but for one reason or another, whether it be business. What's that?
Think they'd ever box with those rules?
He apparently said, like, apparently the rumor is he boxed him out, and I don't know how much I believe that, but apparently that's why that kind of, when this all shit started, 50 apparently knocked him in the face, and, like, I don't know, it was a whole, I don't know if you ever heard about that, but apparently he says, oh, I don't know if he says, but apparently the rumor is that he actually got a good punch on fucking your favorite, your boxing fans boxer right there, fucking, by hitting Mayweather out there. So I don't know.
Fucking guy,
Who's to say, right? I mean, I don't believe it because he's a fucking boxer and 50 is not, right?
Yeah.
I'm sure he's boxed. Like, I'm sure they sparred. Maybe he got a lucky hit on him or something. Maybe he sucker punched him. 50 can fight, I'm sure.
I mean, you would have to, I guess, growing up.
I'm not saying 50 can't scrap, like, where he's from.
In New York,
no, but that's what I'm trying to say.
If you're not going to use a gun, you'd probably have to scrap it out somehow.
But he had a gun, right? I mean, like,
but, you know, it doesn't make a difference. I don't know. Who knows, bro?
Anyways, you're on a little bit off topic. Anyway, I just wanted to say that music has been pretty fucking good lately, and for the start of 2020, I've been really, like, anticipating a lot of new music that's going to come out, that's still yet to come out, and that has come out so far. I mean, so far, because there was lulls in 2019 where, like, I didn't have an album to listen to for a month or two. I felt like I would go back and start listening to other stuff, right? But, like,
it feels like there's too much to listen to.
Yeah, well, that's what I mean. For the amount I listen to music nowadays, it's like I'm still fucking playing the M album that was brought out in January. You know what I mean? But like, I'm still.
So am I, dude.
No, I know, but but I'm just saying, like, sometimes if I have like a lot of good albums that I enjoyed, I'll keep them in my rotation. But slowly but surely, like, unless something new comes out, they'll fall out of my rotation. And I'll go back and I'll start listening to old shit.
Yeah, I get what you're saying, and I've been fixed on actually the Royce album right now, trying to pick it apart, and just not it's too much to pick apart for me. I'm not, like I was telling you the other day. You know what, man? I'm nowhere near smart enough to pick that album apart politically, but you know, I mean, lyrically, if you want to listen to it and the way he rhymes and stuff, it's probably his best album to date, man. So. I've been listening. I don't know. You might like a lot of his old stuff. I don't know. I just find that it's well put together.
It's hard to
this one.
say because Book of Ryan, the album that came out before this, you didn't like Book of Ryan as much. I liked Book of Ryan. That was his most personal album.
I remember, yeah.
But for
me, because you knew the personal background more than I did. I don't know if it was even that.
I didn't say that.
I didn't feel like it mixed properly. I didn't feel like it sounded like quality. Like it wasn't top production.
Well, this has better features on it, and probably better production as well. Like, I will say that. But I thought Book of Ryan was really good. I will say, though, my favorite album of his is Death is Certain, which is an older one.
But that, when you introduced me to that fucking 10-minute fucking...
Holy fuck, does he go off in that, man. The LA Leakers freestyle, Royce. Wow, guys, check it out.
If you haven't seen it yet, check him out, man.
Yeah, he fucking goes off. There's, like... the whole 10 minutes, man. Like, LA Leakers, like, people usually get on there and they do a good fucking job with when they freestyle for them. I've seen some other amazing freestyles in there, don't get me wrong, but this Royce one, everyone's talking about it. It's actually overshadowed the album a little bit. That's how much people are talking about this 10-minute freestyle, but he goes off on it. There's shots thrown to some people. I think he says something about Michael Rappaport slapping him out or something. He says something about The Weeknd.
He's just going off. He's just And then right off the top, and you think he's done, and he's not even done.
Yeah, he
says, "Oh, hold on, they're not done. That's
that
it."
fire ass fucking line about the putting you on the dollar
your
menu at
line.
McDonald's.
Yeah, that's your favorite one, eh?
Oh, it just hit so hard, man. I was like, whoa! And then he shows no sign of slowing when he's doing it too. There's a couple of those interludes that they do usually when they're like mixing, or like he takes like a moment to compose himself and get into the next one. But he does that maybe like twice in out of 10 minutes, and it's only like for 15, 20 seconds, right? Like he fucking kills it. It's one of the best ones I've seen on there. Actually, it's probably the best Royce freestyle, never mind, that I've seen. And again, like I'm sure some of that was written, but he's using large articulate like intricate words in this one. Like he's not
a stupid guy.
No, I know, but like
man.
words that he's stringing together like are really complicated fucking words. Like it's nothing. Like most like me, like I would not mumble it, but I would like almost like I had a speech impediment. Like if I tried to throw those words together, you know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? Like, no, honestly, you know what? I'm just gonna play a snippet of this freestyle for you guys because it's
really
fucking.
Weird,
but so anyways, he uses the fucking word Fibonacci sequence in his freestyle. I'm just like.
Try to say that word. I'm not going to even attempt it, man. I have been picking you apart for saying things right today so far, so I'm not going to even.
No, go ahead. Yeah, talk your shit, because I got a whole lot of shit to talk to you in a moment about your stupid.
I was going to
your lame ass photos
you, but you know what?
that you're fucking posting, saying BFF forever. I don't know if anybody.
You know what, man, dude? That's actually something because she did something nice for me, so I thought I'd turn it around and do something nice for her, man. Fuck. Bro, didn't you remember seeing it on that when it was my birthday?
JT's telling people they look cute online on his Facebook. Pictures look cute, saying like nice things.
Who did I say that to? Oh, the baby and the cat. Yeah, so what the fuck's wrong with you? You're telling me it's not cute? I don't have to tell my cousin this weekend. I don't know.
You're just showing some sort of weird sensitive side for calling people pussy at the start of this show.
You were a pussy.
There we go.
So's Drake.
Gator Maurice, please hold your applause for these parables and stories. Give all praise to Allah, to God be the glory. My papa raised me like I'm a dog with rabies. Playing the hard and to drive Mercedes. Driving with the chopper daily. Pupils dilated like I'm Sada baby. Nozzle on that gun larger than the one on that Gaga lady. Play with my time like I'm a playful dime. My arm comes out the car, my window down like I'm trying to borrow some Grey Poupon. First these bitches hate it, then they love it, then they hate to love it. I'm straight with publishing, I don't care if the radio station's stubborn. You haters busters, I'm David Ruffin. It'll take me nothing to put your life on the dollar menu right there by the Egg McMuffin.
Nico's part, man, right there, because he sees that Egg McMuffin every morning.
Yeah. No, I don't usually eat. I don't eat in the morning normally.
Yeah.
No, I don't go to McDonald's in the morning either.
I can't do it anymore. Fuck that shit. Fuck you guys. So yeah. But yeah, no, it's a fucking crazy freestyle, and like I said, even to pick the whole album apart, man, just the words that he uses to make sure you're rhyming right, I don't know. Maybe that's why it takes a guy like him a little while longer to put out an album. It's the only thing I can think of, right? What do you think?
I like the album, man.
You think that's why it takes a guy longer like that, like that, because he's lyrically the way he's putting rhymes and he has to rhyme together.
It's interesting because arguably, we were just talking about this the other day, you and I think arguably, even seeing him during this press run, like Royce, if you guys want or like Royce or want to know more about Royce, he's been doing an interview at every fucking podcast at every radio station these past 2 weeks. He's been fucking like in press run, like every day. He's probably got like 7-8 places he's going to, because if you look on the internet, you YouTube him, every day there's another interview dropping. Like he's at the Breakfast Club, he's on this one's podcast, he's on that one's podcast. He fucking like went and seen like so many people. So like, and each interview was better than the last that I saw. He's busting out freestyles and fucking LA Leakers. This guy has been doing a good job. And he's kind of just like a cool, calm, and collected, down to earth guy. And he's talking about everything. He's talking about everything from beefs to his relationship with Marshall to the album, to this, to that. Like he talked about the Yellow Wolf shots that he made on the album. He, that whole thing where he said like he apparently did something and he disrespected him, like no respect. And apparently then he went and posted about it on the net, and then he pulled this fucking comment, and Royce called him up, or like apparently they spoke, and he's like, you could have fucking called me, like what the hell, like. And so apparently like he just like had enough of him. There's that whole thing. Yellow Wolf, I guess, went on the internet and talked some shit and then pulled it, which, you know, I don't know. And then he said the thing about that rapper that you and P said sounds like me, fucking my boy T Grizzly, that raps like me, I guess, apparently, like his style of the way he raps. We'll have to get some more people on to kind of to
know anything about your raps.
Yeah,
is that what you're trying
which
to
is
say?
like nobody.
Man, that's the funny thing.
But it's funny that you both made that. You guys didn't talk about it, and you both made that comparison. For some reason, apparently, you think I have that T Grizzly style, but he spoke about that, about how an M and he apparently threw a shot at M in one of his songs, and I know the song he's talking about. I've heard it before. It wasn't even that bad of a shot or anything. But he said that he didn't even know that he was about to get that feature from T Grizzly, because he's from Detroit, T Grizzly. Yeah. So and get that cosign, but apparently Royce told him like to hold on and let him get another hit and like have it so like it's not like everyone looks at it and says, oh, he got famous because of Eminem's feature. You know what I mean? Like, which I think is a kind of
no, it's a good marketing plan, bro. Because you don't want to sit on and ride the tail.
He's just sore. This guy's just pissed.
But you don't want to. But you don't want
to.
You don't want to ride a tail. You don't want to sit there and ride the fucking wave. You know what I mean?
But who's that? I get if that's how.
Royce is the one that, if you think about it, he's the one that's actually riding the wave, but he's actually making his own wave. He's actually bringing up the after wave. You know, the wave that comes afterwards.
Right.
Because Eminem doesn't really talk, right? Doesn't really do any sort of publicity runs and stuff like that. You're saying, and the thing is on interviews every day.
But it's interesting because, like, for some of the same reasonings that he's kind of now acting like, because he's in a better position now and fucking telling him who to collaborate with and speaking to M and giving him advice and shit, because he's in that position again right now. I just think it's out of place for him to fucking be giving him advice on that guy's situation, because at one point Royce was in that fucking situation.
Yeah, but what if he hadn't asked him for advice?
Don't forget, they had a falling out before, and he felt that he was too big for his britches, and he fucking couldn't get on a song with him anymore, and then they had a falling out because Royce was over there doing something, and fucking.
M was too big at one point.
No, but he was butthurt because of that whole D12 relationship shit, and that's when he got into it with Proof, and they fucking beefed, right? So like, who's he to say now for him to hold back features? I just think it wasn't his place to say to hold him back, whether or not he, like, sure, if he heard the diss and he was like, what the fuck to Royce,
maybe it wasn't a good track for him, man. Maybe sometimes it just doesn't fit, bro.
But it's not like the guy presented a track to him or anything like that. Royce just suggested I guess asked Royce about T Grizzly, and he said, no, hold up. I can't disagree with
I find it's probably better for that T Grizzly guy if M just goes as a feature on his album. I find that might be a better start before, like, instead of the other way around.
But M doesn't do features on people's albums anymore.
He'll do it if he has to, if it's somebody under his label or something like that.
I think for a Detroit guy, maybe.
Yeah,
Conway
somebody,
he did it for.
Somebody to bring a, you know what it is? It's to keep Detroit up. You want to get them happy. I mean, look, they're trying to get Buffalo started again.
But he's not.
Get it hyped up.
But he's not by
an armpit of a fucking America.
And not that he should. After apparently the guy took a shot against M on a song, T Grizzly. I wouldn't fucking be showing him any love after that either. I get that part of it, but I'm talking about the initial Royce saying that he suggested for him to wait and not fucking give him that, that boost into his career by getting on the track with him. I thought that was kind of.
I think a shot is a shot.
It's a selfish.
It's like me and you when we take shots at each other like that. Nothing big. I know what you mean. I get what you're saying. How it's selfish.
He could easily get on the phone and clear that out. Is what I'm saying. Like if he really wants to help Detroit, a rapper, you know what I mean? Like I think it's something that they can both put past them. Is what I'm.
What if it's not an album, or what if it's just not a year for him to come out? Maybe it's just something he is not gonna make it big this year. Maybe it's not his year. Maybe there's too much competition out this year. Sometimes it's hard.
Plus, why is Royce going around talking about this fucking guy? It has nothing to do with him. Because he commented to M about it? It has nothing to do with him. It has nothing to do with between M and T Grizzly.
Yeah,
right?
But maybe he asked him to go talk to him about it.
No, but he's talking about it in interviews and shit now on his press run.
Yeah. Well,
I don't know.
That's kind of.
I just feel away because I rhyme like the guy.
Maybe yeah. Well, Peter. Speaking of, somebody sent me. I don't know if it was you or Peter sent me a rapper the other day. I didn't actually get to take a listen to it. I guess on Instagram. Mm-hmm. I think it was Pete. He sent me a something about some rapper. I don't know who it was. I didn't want to listen in case I liked it, and that's two rappers that he put me onto that I would have liked in 1 year. So I didn't really want to listen to it right away, but I wasn't sure exactly who he sent me. I'm not sure. I was on Instagram. It was a couple of days ago. Fuck, man, I can't remember who the hell it was. It's there. I want to check it, but I don't know. It's not
Yeah,
a
go
big
ahead.
deal. It's not really
If
a
you
big
want.
deal, but
Yeah, so there's that. But there's a lot of
I
good
don't know if it was
content out
you or
there with
him.
Royce. Check it out because Royce has been doing that
he's
press
going
run.
everywhere. Yeah,
And he's arguably, this is what I started off to saying, but then I kind of ranted about that whole thing, is that he's arguably the best he's ever been right now. Like after these two
Just a
albums,
stupid thing. See, that's why I never clicked on it. Just something stupid.
after
Never
these
mind.
two albums, after Book of Ryan and this one here, Allegory, I think that he's arguably the best he's ever been. He's definitely leveled up. I think after the whole Slaughterhouse thing with him being part of that group, his relationship again getting mended with M,
Yeah.
and seeing that through and being cool with him for a bunch of years again now, and even producing credits now on M's album. He's arguably the best he's ever been right now, and he's gotten a lot of good features over the past year. Like he had a Cole feature on that last album, Book of Ryan. You know what I mean? Like it may have not been my favorite song ever, but getting J. Cole on a track, that's a good feature. Like lyricists respect him. You know what I mean? Like there's a lot of people that now will get on a track with Royce who in the past may have not acknowledged him just because of his stripes in the game. Like he's been around a long fucking time. This guy's been around since the early 90s, right? So he's been around a long ass time. Anybody who fucking respects M should also respect Royce to some degree. And I think that he lived in his shadow for quite a long time.
Yeah.
But now he's separated now, I think.
It's
And
mature. It's different. You learn to figure everything yourself out.
Right.
It comes with time. Right?
Plus, Royce used to be an alcoholic. That's why he was. Bro, do you ever
think straight.
Do you ever hear the story or see the meme of him taking out a bazooka on? Did you ever hear?
No, not at all.
This guy once on like Blog TV, like one of these live internet like streaming YouTube type things before we used to have like all these like these live streaming things.
IGTV and all
Yeah,
that.
there's a clip of him where he fucking went on and started ranting and fucking. Was it against Benzino? I can't remember. Somebody he talked shit about somebody who was talking shit about him, and the fucking guy pulled out a bazooka. I swear to fucking God, a bazooka on the camera. Guys, you gotta look this up. I think the video clip is still out there somewhere. Like it wasn't like this guy fucking,
Literally.
like I'm gonna try to show you around the area, bro. It was insane. It was he took out an actual bazooka. I can't remember like who it was against. I don't think it was against Benzino because I don't think they were cool right then at that point. But M and him. But let me.
These guys are fucked. These.
It's something. It was just a funny thing he did on the internet back in the day. It wasn't like it was low. Yeah, it was Benzino. There you go. Royce to 5'9" clowning on Benzino. Oh, look at that. I do have a good memory with the rocket launcher.
Like really? Seriously?
Watch this clip. Hold on.
Seriously. No wonder they took it off.
They removed it. It wouldn't play.
Benzino doesn't want it on there.
Oh, there we go.
This is when he was drunk?
There, what? Yeah, he's hammered here. Watch.
We got guns too. We got guns too. We got.
He's making fun of Benzino.
Yeah,
Hey, we
he's
got
like waving
too.
guns. Look, that's like a fucking Tommy gun that he's waving around in the video right now. Guys, if you guys go on YouTube, hopefully if we have show notes again, if Jay gets around to it. Look. Bro, it's a fucking rocket launcher.
You don't have rocket launcher. You don't have rocket launcher. Blow your whole house up. Blow your whole car up.
You've never seen this, eh? Yeah, this is back in the day.
So he's a little fucked.
That just says "Don't fuck with Royce to 5'9" at the end. It's like a 5-minute video, guys. But if you go to the end of it,
He's
it's
just pulling fucking guns
just
out.
YouTube Royce to 5'9" clowning on Benzino, and it says with a rocket launcher, and like this guy at the end of the video just starts waving all these like ridiculous fucking guns that he had in the house somehow at that time. Yeah, this is back this is back when he was like out of control.
But he wasn't threatening. He was just making. He was kind of like subliminally, probably throwing those fucking threats in there when they were at it, when they were kind of beefing back then.
Yeah.
No, those subliminal threats. Yeah, we got guns too. And he's actually showing them on a fucking video. Like, really? He recorded it. The thing, it's like sitting there. I guess my uncle does that too. He just sits the camera there and then starts doing TikTok videos to him for himself, right? So it's kind of the same thing. But that was what, 10 years ago, 15 years ago?
Probably 15 years ago. Or
Fuck,
so.
not as easy, not as many fucking stupid streaming fucking things, eh? Like
no, he would have got in trouble nowadays if he did that.
oh, that
That's what I
part.
mean,
Well, it
yeah.
would have been deleted.
Yeah.
That's why you seen that one of them that was deleted, right? They're fucked. Somebody just keeps reposting it back out there. That's all it is. Somebody has it in their library.
But that's a funny clip, man. That's one of the best. That's one of the best rap clips I ever saw. Was that one?
Imagine going stand in front of a fucking drunk guy with a fucking rocket launcher. Yeah. Fuck
No,
that.
thank you. Yeah.
I wouldn't want to be that camera.
Another funny thing I've seen on YouTube recently, thanks for introducing me to it. You came across it. Apparently he's been doing it for like fucking several years, which I wasn't even aware of. I guess he drops sporadically.
Yeah,
like it's not like a regular scheduled
he
program.
He probably forgets that he has it.
GGN instead of
He probably forgets it.
Instead of CNN, it's GGN. I guess G's up, Ho's down, double G, fucking
double
Ed.
G gay,
it's fucking Snoop Dogg. Snoop Dogg's fucking it's like half an hour shows on YouTube that he does with different people that come through the studio.
You know, some of them are half an hour, some of them depends on how stoned they get.
Yeah. But
don't you like to watch? Some of them were getting really like they would trip out hard. You knew the ones that couldn't handle the grass.
Not all of them smoke too. Some of them would drink or whatever.
Yeah. But the ones that did try to, you know what I mean? Well, you know, it's even though you can get somebody to smoke if you give them a few drinks first. But then that's when it turns all fucked up. That's when it doesn't mix right. Especially if you're not used to it, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So, that's when you get sick. You get the spins.
I mean, the first one I watched, the guy brought me onto it was the Tyson one because I know Tyson could smoke, right? Because we obviously seen it on the
hotboxing
with Mike Tyson, right? Yeah. So we obviously seen it on there, and I'm thinking to myself, what the fuck is this? You know, I could have been doing that 10 years ago. You know, when I started this shit and all this smoking would
Snoop's
have been
entertaining
for nothing,
though. Guys, you gotta watch this show, GNN with Snoop Dogg. He did one with Seth Rogen. I watched.
And roll all day.
I seen that I didn't watch it, but I seen he did one with that other fucking guy, Lil Dicky. I seen he did one with him. I seen that he did one with Seth Rogen. I watched that one.
He does one with funny stoners. That's the thing, right? He does it. That's the whole thing. I think it's to who could keep up with who.
Michael Rappaport was on there.
Can you keep up with Snoop?
Yeah.
Fuck. Anytime. Have me on the show, Snoop. I'll fucking have you a challenge. I told you, man. Any day.
And then didn't you say that they like start tripping out the guests and stuff? Like
and they were showing they go like do these crazy fucking video, like with the video. They do some crazy where they shake it, where they, you know, make it all trippy. They change the colors. They make them sound like they're skipping their voices and stuff.
It's funny because it's so low production too. So like in the background, you have like all these floating ads for like Snoop's things, like that.
You watch the moon go up. It's fucked up. And then for the first half hour, the sun's up.
It's almost like they can't choose between whether it's like a CNN network because you see things scrolling across
and they're at the bottom. It's like repeating itself. Yeah.
But then you have things in the background that make it look like it's a talk show with like the night coming up.
Well, it's like the late night show.
But then they'll have like a graphic. Like it's essentially like a green screen behind them. So they have like graphics of like blimps going by and then it says like something that has to do with Snoop, like some like tour date or like some one of his products.
All we need is a green screen, bro. That's all we need is a green screen, man. That's the next
Bro, I thought we had an interesting background. This fucking guy's got all this like weird shit floating.
We could change it every fucking week, bro. We could look like we're in fucking China one week with people running behind us and shit like that with masks on and stuff. Next week we could be in fucking somewhere with Ebola. Hey, you know what? That was another thing. Sorry, I'm going off topic here, but
feel free.
How the fuck did? Okay, all of a sudden now for 2 weeks they haven't had a single outbreak, a case reported of Ebola, and they were trying to keep that contained. But that was around the same time that Corona thing started.
Right.
Isn't that fucked up? Mother Nature doesn't win one way, she's going to try and even it out another. She's like, you guys are beating me with the Ebola? Fuck it. Here's the flu. Fuck you guys. Deal with that one.
That's how it goes, man. No. That's how it goes.
People are all worried it's going to kick out 50 million people like that fucking Spanish flu, bro. I doubt it. Not 50 million. Maybe 50,000, but not 50 million, man.
Yeah, check your stats there. I don't know what you're going on about, but
no, 50 million. So it was the fucking Spanish flu back in the early 1900s, bro. Mm-hmm. Like the early 19 or whatever it was after the war, post-war, pre-war, whatever it was.
All right.
Right? I can't remember. I think it was post-war, right? 1930. It was around that time.
I know nothing of the Spanish flu.
You never heard it? Wasn't it the Spanish flu? The one that came over?
No, I'm sure you're right. I'm not aware of that.
Killed them fucking worldwide. Killed a shitload of people worldwide, right? Mm-hmm. And now they have this fucking one coming out. But this one's already mutated like 3 times. Isn't that fucked?
Well, they're working on a cure right now. Well,
once they figure it out, once they isolate the one thing, they can get it. They'll have it. They'll have a vaccine for it, right?
Yeah.
But now with the weather changing and getting warmer and shit like that, it's just going to make it hard. It's going to make it rough for the next little while until, it's springtime. I didn't even realize that it's this year. This is the week of the spring forward. But yeah, that it's springtime.
We've been pretty fortunate so far here in Toronto. They've been
we've got a lot of snow, but we haven't got those crazy fucking minus 20 we had a few, remember, in October, and then we had a few when you were gone, fucker, and that was it, right? He was on vacation, and we had a few. Everybody remembers those ones, and then since then there hasn't been really much. I mean, we've gotten a lot of snow. It just melts the next day, so it's just one of those years that it's hard for any sort of virus, bro. It thrives in this shit. This fucking just floating above zero temperature, right? That's what's making this work, right? And then everybody, once you catch it, doesn't matter where you are. You can be in a hot climate and still get it, right? But once it'll start to clear up, and then after a couple of weeks, they'll have a fucking vaccine, and that's it. Doesn't take long, bro. They'll figure it out. If they have to, they'll figure it out. They just, like I said, U.S. just put towards $8.3 billion into fighting it. That's only one country.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, they'll get it probably by year's end. They'll find a cure, hopefully, and at least that's what they're saying.
Well, there's only one in Canada. There's only one person that actually died that was really sick, but they were like an 83-year-old person.
Here's the thing, though. I think also people are forgetting, though, if you get it at this point, and there's going to be a lot more people that are going to get it, and it is spreading, and it can be scary. Yeah, absolutely. But I think it's like one of those things where, like, chances are, if I were to get it, I'm in my early 30s. I'm gonna be fine. I'm gonna be sick for a week or two. I'm gonna be very sick, but
you'll be able to fight it.
It's gonna be a flu. I'm gonna be able to fight off, and it'll be like a flu. It'll be like getting a flu. That's because that's what it is. It's
I hope the same for me. I have a lot of issues with my respiratory problems, all that shit. So I don't know how I could probably fight it. It's just gonna be a fucking bitch.
I was about to say, because your immune system seems a lot shittier.
Well, no, it's not so much the immune system. It's just mostly my chest, where when stuff happens with my chest, right? That's when I have issues, right?
Yeah.
And plus, being a smoker is not a fucking good job, right? Like, it doesn't work to my advantage, you know that.
Yeah.
So and that's what keeps his voice fucking nice and low right now too. But yeah, I think honestly that they'll figure it out. We'll have it all figured out. I mean, I don't think people have to go that crazy where they got to cancel too many plans. Like, I noticed places have been getting cheaper now. I've been getting a lot cheaper, like half the price of what they were like a couple weeks ago.
Oh yeah, I mean, a lot of things have been affected by it. First off,
gonna go on vacation.
Flights, cruises.
Yeah.
Spadina.
Did they really say no?
Yeah.
Or people are just avoiding it.
They are. Chinese restaurants are down like 50% of their business in that area.
Fuck.
Yeah,
because a lot of people
Korean,
are just
whatever.
Yeah,
in Spadina, that area, Chinatown in Toronto here, business has been very
stuff's
fucking
imported,
low.
right?
Yeah,
they still got a lot of stuff imported. They stopped importing stuff right now. They've kind of helped.
You want to know something funny?
What's that?
I was down there last weekend eating at a Chinese food place.
No,
I was. No,
dude,
honestly,
I deal with the public all day long, man. So I figured to myself, if I catch it, it'll be.
You know what's funny though? This is one of those hot spots that people go to all night. It's like open till like 3 or 4 in the morning. Okay, I didn't go that late, but I went after their.
Did they have the masks on?
No, but listen.
Like over here while they were
No,
eating?
but this place, whenever you go there, it's packed. There's like multiple rooms that if they bring you down, they have to put you all the way into
worst case scenario.
There's like 2 or 3 rooms of people that they put you in, okay?
Yeah,
we went in there, we were put in the first room. I've never sat in that room when I've went to that restaurant. Like, you know what I mean? Like, as the time went on, people started actually coming from the back. Like, there was some people that they had in the back as well. But it was nowhere near as packed as it normally was. So if you guys are a fan of Chinese food and you're not scared, right now's the time to go, boys.
Well, that's what I mean. Like, those would be the worst places to be hanging out in. Like, it's just not so much because it's a Chinese restaurant. It's more that it's packed. That's the problem, right? Like they're talking about places that are packed.
But it's not right now.
No, I know, but that's what they're saying is that you got to try to keep out of big areas like that. Big, you're starting to notice probably subways are a lot more less packed than usual. I don't know if the buses are. I know they're supposed to be doing cleaning every night. They were saying, right?
I seen somebody repost a funny post there on my Instagram that said. because everyone's making statements. Hey, unfortunately, I'm gonna have to cancel my appearance here because of the coronavirus. So, unfortunately, the guy made a statement saying, "Hey, unfortunately, due to coronavirus, I'm gonna have to not be able to pass you the blunt anymore."
You know what? That's a good one. Fucking right, man. No more. I'm not sharing with anybody
And my
now.
buddy,
I just did,
my buddy that reposted it, it's like it's just like real talk. Like he's like fucking right. Like I'm
Straight
gonna
up,
start
man.
basically big. He said like big facts or some bullshit like that, right?
Can't
Basically,
share no more, Nelson.
if it just said, "Hey, out of respect of coronavirus, I'm not gonna be able to share my blunt anymore." It made me laugh, man. I was like, yeah, it's true, yeah.
Hey, and it like they were saying it's affecting the beer sales, like that Corona beer.
Oh, They're down. Sales
I
are
think
down.
so. I
Sales
think so
are
too.
down.
I've seen it.
You can't find Purell anywhere right now. People
That's
are
ridiculous.
buying.
They were selling it online, like for a thing like this size, like $200.
Even
bro.
though like we are not at this point yet, people are already stocking up on
Hoarding
all the
up.
water.
Like really, seriously, it's like not the end of the world, everybody. And you know what the worst part about it is? Once it's over, everybody's gonna come back and start exchanging stuff.
You never know, man. You never know. Knock on wood right now. Like I know we've been trying to keep positive about it and stuff, but
it could be that could be what does it to us.
No, but
man.
compared to the first time we talked about it, maybe 3-4 weeks ago, it's been escalating quite rapidly, though. I will say
they said in 1 week, and what do they say? Iraq or Iran or whatever went up from 1,000 to 3,000.
Yeah,
Italy's got a lot of labor workers there.
Don't get me wrong. There's still a lot of misinformation out there. There's still a lot of people making it sound a lot worse than it is. People that are scaring other people as a result of what's going on, fear mongering and all that. But hey, listen, I mean, and like I said, it's not that I'm not nervous of it, but I'm just trying to have a positive outlook on it and trying to just stay healthy. And you know what I mean? Like
I was trying to go shave my beard because it's probably in here somewhere. They were saying, we touch our face at least like they were saying on average thousands of times a day.
People rub their eyes.
And we don't even realize it. Like you don't even realize. I just touched my face in this episode. I must have went like this. I must have done it just in this episode alone 40, 50, 60 times.
Right.
You don't even realize it. So you just imagine the shit that's on the beard. And it does. It's got to be a shitty like place. It's got to be a really fight. If you're not cleaning it every day, man, it's got to be a dirty place. You don't really think about it, right? Because it's not like your regular hair. Like if you don't wash it for a day or two, it fucking starts to smell like your hair on your top of your head. I don't know if that's the way it works. I don't have hair on the top of my head, but I'm pretty sure I've smelled people's hair after a day or so. I mean, not because I go around smelling people's hair, bro, like on the subway or anything, just because. But yeah.
Speaking of the subway, that's another big hot button issue right now in Toronto. They just raised the fees up again 10 cents, I think, or something like that. 10th time in 10 years. And I know you're not somebody who regularly takes the subway at all. No, but
still, that fucks me up every time I do take the subway. I don't know how much to put in.
Well, it's not only that. The city is really pissed right now because of the TTC claiming how much money they previously lost this past year because of theft. They have announcements on the subway and postings in the subway that make you feel like a criminal. A lot of people are complaining about that because they're...
Well, yeah, it's true. There is a few that do sneak on. But now with that Presto Pass, you can't even open the fucking thing anymore. I don't know how they're losing money this last year. That's the new system they're using.
They lose money from people not being at the booth.
You know what it is? They jump over,
Yeah, there's ways you can trigger it.
You don't even have to jump over. You just click.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I mean. They did lose a lot of money, but that's no excuse.
They probably can track it a lot better now, too, than they could before.
This
previously.
is the 10th time in 10 years, though, I think they were saying that they've raised the price to TTC. As someone who does still take the TTC, like myself, occasionally, it's the service. It's not
going to be worth it soon.
Well, here's the thing. The service hasn't gotten any better.
No, the subway stations are shitty.
Right?
Even worse every year.
They get paid way above a lot of people, though, the people that work for the TTC. Like
it's going to go... That's going to go a thing that's going to go private one day. That's something that...
How are you going to get the infrastructure to kind of get that? Like, how are you going to make new routes, like, underground? Like,
they won't. No, they'll just take it over. They'll have to sell it out from underneath them, the government.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
And then just sell it out from underneath them. They're fucked. They get rid of it. They just start hiring less and less people. They do it with big companies like that, big union companies that governments own. I don't know how, if it's owned by the government... It probably is. Maybe not. I don't even know. I think they're just union protected.
I don't know how it works. Yeah,
and they're an essential service too now, right?
Here's the thing, though. How are you gonna sit there and fucking rip off people for something that is an essential service like that? How are you going to in a city?
The cops don't ask me where the ambulance doesn't ask. The ambulance asks me for $60
forgot what I was
for
reading.
gas.
Some city, I think in Europe or something. I was just reading the other day. They just officially now made all their public transportation free for those people that live there. And not only that, out of all the TTC, like all the public service around the world, we're one of the lowest.
We're the worst.
Yeah, we're one of the lowest.
We're the small. I think we're for per capita. I think we're one of the smallest. Right. Like when it comes to subway lines.
Yeah.
Per capita, like per as many people that are in the city, we're the smallest. They what they did is they stopped somewhere in the 80s. I think it was, if I'm not mistaken, somewhere in the 80s they stopped building stations. Which that was the biggest mistake they ever did.
And Jay, you know how much it costs for like a student to take the subway now? Do you know how much?
Well, their parents too, because a lot of them they would have to cost a fortune, right? Because their parents have to pay. For
how much for a student? If I was in high school right now,
I would have no idea. $250.
It's $220, I think, to take the subway. I was reading the other day.
Well, it was $2
think about it.
Before, wasn't it? I don't remember what it was.
No, it was way cheaper back in the day. It's $220. For a student to take the subway back and forth, if they had to do it in one day for a day of school, you're looking at almost $5 for them to take it a day. That's $4. Okay, let's say $4. Forget the 20 cents, 40 cents extra, whatever. $4 already for 5 days a week for you to go to school. You're looking at $20.
That's fucked.
Bro, I used to get maybe $5 for lunch back in the day for lunch.
Well, you shouldn't have to walk to school.
That's like my lunch money back then. You know what I mean? $20 for transportation throughout the week, man. That's fucking crazy.
I never actually had to
month,
take the subway.
It's almost $100. That's $80. Plus that doesn't count whatever else you're gonna spend on the subway. And then if you buy a pass, it's fucking like I don't know, like $100 and something, right? Like it's insane. Like
it's ridiculous. No, I get what you're saying.
And people need to take the subway. Like, you know what I mean? Like, a lot of people don't have a choice. Like, it's bad enough rent is at an all-time fucking high. People that are usually now can't even afford a car, a lot of them, so they have to take the subway. And then if they're taking the subway and they keep raising the prices and the service is shittier and they're making you feel like shit.
You're paying almost like the same price that I'm paying for gas monthly, if you think about it. Not monthly. Maybe crazy. Not monthly. I'm paying a lot more than you because I actually sit in the car and unnecessary. Right, a lot of the times, like with the car idling or whatever, so I waste a lot of unnecessary gas. But I mean, if I didn't, I probably wouldn't waste nowhere near as much as you do for Subway per day. I wouldn't waste $5 a day on gas.
Bullshit.
If I had to go to work and back, right, it wouldn't cost me that. I'd be taking one big trip a week, let's say to Bradford or whatever, to go see my nephews and stuff, and that's it, man. Right? I wouldn't be going anywhere, and then coming down here to see you. But if the subway was like $1 and it was an easy, like there was a better line to get here, I would come and see you, dude. It would be a lot easier than taking a fucking. I hate taking the car to come visit because the only thing is that even driving in the city, it takes a beating. Like it gives your car a beating. Like the roads are all shit. Everything's all shit, right? Toronto's been doing a shit job of actually taking care for considering how much they take our taxes and shit. They're doing a pretty shitty job of keeping up the infrastructure.
You know, I gotta say though, because of that and many other things lately, and I used to hate when people used to talk shit about the city or like I'm moving away from the city or talk down on it and all that because I still live here and I still enjoy it for the most part, but like shit like this, it does piss me off and it gets me fed up.
Because it makes them almost right.
To the point. No, it has nothing to do with people saying that. I get where you're coming from with that, but even with that out of my mind, like not even focusing on that, like get off of that for a moment. Mm-hmm. Just even for me though, like I get pissed off at this kind of shit. Like how can you defend that? Like rent's at all-time high, fucking.
How can you want to vote for a mayor that they can't do anything?
And Canadians want to run around and talk shit about how things are working in other places of the world and judge them so much, but then look at the fucking mess that's going on over here with a lot of shit, right? And like I think it's to the point now where it's like, you know what I mean?
We don't have a pandemic and that kind of crazy shit, but we have other little fucking things that people don't see, especially living in a big city, right?
And I'm not trying to take a political stance in this. No, I'm not talking about freedoms or nothing because I'm happy and fortunate to live here, and I you know what I mean? Like
it's just living, bro. You just want to have live in the city that you grew up in, man. And
yeah, I'm
and
just
enjoy.
I'm just trying to get by, man. This is
Yeah.
like, this is my, you know what I mean? Like, I shouldn't be struggling in my 30s. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm just trying to fucking get
But
by,
you and
man. I'm trying
everybody
to
else,
live.
bro.
I'm trying to live. No,
It's
no, that's
not
what I
like
mean.
that,
No, I
right?
know it's not an isolated
Yeah.
incident,
Yeah.
but like, I'm, you know, I'm just trying to live, bro. Like,
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
exactly.
Like, let me live. Like the JC
Yeah,
side, let me
you
live,
can't.
bro.
No, but
like,
that's the thing
honestly.
is, unless you want to live like that, you have to seriously consider moving out of the city. Unless you
Right.
have a job that's gonna pay you
Which is
150
why,
grand a year.
and I know
plus.
we talk shit about it too. Everyone who does fucking eventually move out of the city, many of our friends and family and this and that, you can't blame them in some regard. But then even then, you're fucked because all the work's in the city, and then you're
And you're
fucking
still
spending
driving
2
back.
hours a commute every fucking day, and you're spending money on gas, and you're fucking spending money, your time. Time is fucking money to
Well-
me. Like, my time is very precious. I have no fucking time.
No spare
so
time,
if I had
exactly.
to fucking drive 2 hours each day, you better believe I wouldn't be doing this shit right now. You wouldn't be doing this right now.
No, yeah.
Probably not. I don't think I would be a game for that if I had to spend 2 hours in traffic every day, right?
No, it wouldn't be fun at all,
Right.
man. Like that's the whole thing. If it took me 2 hours to get down here,
That's
every
what I
day,
mean. For you to
it
come
takes me
down,
almost an hour some days,
for
right?
you to come down in the evening and whatnot,
Yeah.
I get it. Like, it is still a sacrifice, but like, it's still it would
It's
just
better
put a
than
damper
2
on
hours,
things.
3 hours to go visit people, you know?
But
Like,
that's the thing. By the time you get home after work, you're fucking beat. You have a bite to eat. You fucking, if you have kids or whatever, you do a little thing a bit with the family. You have what, like an hour to yourself in the evening, and you got to
there's so
fucking
many
go.
fast food. Like that's another thing that I notice out there in those places that are further out. There's so many restaurants, like you know what for instance, Dave and Buster's and stuff like that. Those style restaurants, quick, fast restaurants, because or takeout places because of that reason. Because they know people are sitting in traffic for fucking 3 hours or 2 hours to get home.
Oh, let me just grab something quick on the way home or something. Yeah, exactly.
Let's grab something.
I had
yeah.
pizza tonight. Or just like, I don't know, you know.
And you live in the city, and then you had to grab pizza because you're in such a rush. Imagine people that have to sit in traffic for 2.5 hours, 3
Forget
hours.
it.
It's the same thing. Everybody
it.
lives the same sort of bullshit. Everybody still struggles. Unless you're rich, you're still
No, but that's
living,
what I mean.
everybody's
like,
living the same life.
And that's the thing. And then it's even harder for the couples that are together that may or may not have kids, though, and both of them have to work. Like, anybody who has the opportunity to have somebody at home, and I'm not even trying to say it has to be the wife or the husband, it can be whomever, but like anybody who actually can get by doing that, you know how much that fucking helps?
Benefits
because you need
them.
you need somebody at home doing like a lot of the shit that needs to get done. Because then, honestly, chores alone, like, you know what I mean? Even the upkeep of your home, like upkeep of an apartment I live in, is fucking enough to kind of like you
don't want to do it after.
Right.
But the thing is, you don't want to do it once you get home, right? Once, especially after you've had a
so
double
then what
day.
do? You leave the fucking mess there for yourself for how many days, and then you got to pick it up.
Adds up.
Right,
Trust
and
me,
then it
you
adds
come look
up.
at my room. You know what I mean? I'm not even joking.
I'm on a fucking all-time rant
Come look
here,
at my
guys.
car.
Look at me fucking gripe to you guys here. I'm like old man, get off your lawning right now,
man.
bro. But it's true.
Every day
Life's
I hear
hard.
something about the city, and they're changing everything, and they're putting prices up on this and that. You know what? I could see. Imagine seeing something like a big franchise owning like Coca-Cola or Pepsi and those kind of places owning the subway. Imagine that, right? Every station was named after its own. Like they weren't talking about that one year, and it would help pay for things as
I don't know.
advertisement.
I don't know.
I think that would be a smart idea, but nobody ever fucking says anything, right? Like they talk, and then all of a sudden all they do is put the price up again. I think the subway has stopped. I've heard on the radio the subway has had more problems this, I think, winter alone because of the snow and track problems than it's ever had.
Oh, you should have seen it in the summer though, when they actually have the time to do a lot of the work, right?
And they're just blaming it on thieves.
Every weekend. There's closures somewhere. Like,
yeah, but that's what I feel. I feel like they're just blaming it on thieves. They're losing the money because of the work they have to put in.
No, but that's the thing. And at the same time, they're trying to make people. They're basically
Feel guilty.
Yeah,
get on there, otherwise, and then make sure you pay.
There's announcements. This is what people are freaking. There's announcements on the TTC about thieves and about this kind of shit. And then if they fucking catch you, like the price, if they catch you, let's say trying to sneak on, that would be like $3 or whatever, what have you. Is like it starts at like $400 or something.
I think everybody
like
should just have a Presto card, period. And that's it. If you get stopped by a cop inside the subway, they can check to see if you scanned to get in or you didn't. You get what I'm saying? you have to show it, like identification. Once you're on their fucking property, you're allowed. You can ask for anything.
It's one of those things, though. Like I can't blame anybody for getting on the subway for free if they can, because the service. Like fuck you guys, right? Yeah. Like honestly, like I'm one of them. I fucking snuck on the subway
and they've made it so much easier too. Now that they put the Presto Pass in.
If I don't see somebody at the booth and I can get in, better believe I'm just gonna fucking walk in. Fuck you.
That's the thing, is that usually, the backside, there's the two sides of the subway to get in?
Yeah. There's
the main entrance, and then there's that side street back entrance on the back end of the subway. Yeah. Usually that one there used to have like bars that went all the way up, and then they had a booth, and nobody was ever in that booth. You could only get in by tokens or whatever, right? Now, they got rid of that whole fucking bar system and everything.
Right.
There's still nobody there.
Yeah.
But you can use a Presto Pass. Also, you can jump over. It's no higher than this fucking table. So I'm thinking to myself, and then you want to wonder why people aren't jumping in? Because that's the reason why. They can now. Before you couldn't, because it was that turn gate, and you couldn't get in. It was a metal. Yeah, you would get stuck. Yeah, you couldn't do it. It was only going one way. That was the smartest fucking idea.
Yeah, and I know it's easy for you to be like, oh, well, if you sneak on, you're part of the problem, blah, blah, blah. No, listen, guys, they're going to fucking raise the price anyways, either fucking way. They're just trying to... Do I?
Yeah.
I have, yeah.
If yours is open, they just keep going through with everybody.
Fucking right. I don't give a shit. You know what
it is? I think a lot of people push themselves through because they can.
Not that I need to, but at the same time, like, fuck you. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you're going to, like, your service is shit.
Off. Let me take a ride free.
And that's the mentality of a lot of people.
I think a lot of people are like that.
And that's why, yes, if they did actually lose this much money as they claimed this past year, like, you know what I mean? Like, you guys fucking stop paying each other so much within your own organization. Actually put the money towards actually fucking changing something for the better. Your service has been still shit. Look at other places around the world that fucking have like better infrastructures than you. Do something. Like honestly, like,
I don't even think it's so much that they're worried about the service. I don't think it's the actual guys running the machines and stuff like that. But it's just like any public service. Nobody wants to talk to the public.
And just like anything else, like it's easy for us outside looking in and be like, fucking fix it. And then like there's obviously a lot of issues there that aren't gonna they're not gonna change overnight. But it's been like this for fucking years.
Well,
like
dude,
it's
you know
not
what?
like
I know what it's like working for a big company like that and all that stuff. And when it comes to
that's easy to take shots at like a bigger organization.
Yeah, it's easy
like,
to.
You.
It's easy to. And then the thing is, you don't see what happens like afterwards. Like how much like I've seen it in the last couple of days. How much people get fucking reamed for stupid things because the government decides to say, "Hey, listen,
I know it's
easy. You feel bad, right?
I know it's easy to turn around and be like, "You guys get paid enough, like fucking be better, blah blah blah."
They pay $60 a month for a water cooler,
right?
And they want to get rid of it,
right?
Yeah, okay, but that's what you guys want. That's how you want a penny pinch,
right?
Right? You can't even fix a leaky roof, but you want to fucking, you know what I mean?
I think people are just fed up and they would like for them to show a sign of improvement or some appreciation and realize that they're running it like a fucking business when it's an essential way of living and they're trying to rip off their own people that live in the city. And if they have enough to get by and if you're going to raise fucking prices, but put the money towards improving the service, improving something and where you could say, look what we did. You know what I mean? Like,
we made it better.
Right.
They can't even prove that.
Then people, you make people shut the fuck up. Like, I wouldn't be fucking complaining.
No, I know what you're saying. They haven't done anything to make anything. They don't. Even the subways look dirty. The only thing that they've upgraded is their employees.
And then you have the nerve,
look nice.
The nerve to fucking put out ads and fucking announcements about people fucking stealing or fucking sneaking on and making us fucking feel like pieces of shit. You see what I'm saying? You have the fucking nerve, the audacity, fucking
Drake, today,
guys. No, seriously, because it's something that I take the subway and I don't even take it that much, but it's something that I still experience.
Yeah, on a daily. Right. Well, almost on a daily, right?
Right. So, like, how the fuck are you gonna go out and be the audacity, the fucking the start of that Drake song?
Oh my god.
The audacity, the fucking Pusha T diss.
But yeah, no,
the nerve, the audacity. You know, seriously though, like, fuck you guys.
I know where he had. That was a.
That's the name of this show. The nerve, the audacity.
Yeah, the Niko ramble. No. Niko, you got a gripe about something?
Yeah, I went off, eh? Jeez, I gotta shut up.
Right, man. But no, other than that, I mean, there's nothing really. Like the city is just the city.
Yeah, tell us about your show. You had a show idea. Listen to this, guys. This guy told me a very interesting
I think
idea.
I forgot it.
No, don't give me that. No.
Because I remember it's something about being high, right? But
no, like you had. So Jay came to me the other day. We were just shooting the shit, and he came to me and he said he had some sort of idea if he actually knew how to write or he actually had the interest in writing. Like, for a fucking TV show.
Remember that? Yeah. Okay,
so like get into the. Tell the people at home. Like I want to hear what maybe some people have to say about your idea. You seemed like you had it all fleshed out. Like
but then I realized what it was, man. It was just like fucking another TV show. It was just like something I've seen already. But
yeah.
I had a good fucking idea about it. But I mean,
no. Let's hear about it. I want to hear.
No, it was just like a Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde thing, right?
Right.
I told you, right? It was like a fucking.
Tell the people.
One guy was the one guy was the killer, and one of them was the killer, and one was the what do they call it? The
almost
profiler.
You said almost like a Dexter guy.
Almost like a Dexter. Dexter's more just like crime spatter guy, right? Yeah. But almost like that. But he's always got to keep he has to always outdo himself.
Right.
Or always has to outrun himself. You know what I mean? Because he's both people. I don't know, but I thought it was the same thing. I was just getting high, bro. See, that's why I'm telling you.
No, there was more to this. Like, what? Don't just like.
Why? What do you mean? There wasn't more. How? Which more? Go. Keep telling me. I honestly I forgot.
You had like a whole concept for the showdown. Like, yeah, you said it's like a Jekyll, Mr. Hyde. There's a guy.
I told you one was and one they have to outdo each other.
Right.
It's the same person.
Yes.
Yeah, and he just has to outdo himself.
So he's
what
a
else
split
was there?
personality.
Yeah.
That's basically.
So I said Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde.
Committing murders, and then he wakes up the next morning and he has to solve the murder.
Yeah, and has to remember that. Oh fuck, did I do this? And then how would I have done this?
I like it. That's what I mean.
You know what I mean? Like he got stoned that night, did the murders, got really all fucked up, and then couldn't remember what he did the next day, and then had to realize, and oh fuck. And then he starts having flashbacks. Yeah. Hey, that's copyright, guys. Fuck up.
Yeah, that's what I mean. So Jay was sitting there trying to tell me that this is an idea he had for a show, and then if you could write, if you had any experience writing or something, or he could be.
Anybody want to write me a screenplay? I'll give you guys the whole fucking thing. Anybody want to write it out for me on paper? It was just
the funniest conversation. That's why I wanted to bring it up because I'm like Jay. I've never heard I never thought I'd hear the words come out of Jay's mouth. I want to write a screenplay. I was like, what the fuck?
You know what? You and my dad, man. Why don't you guys go jump the same fucking wagon? He goes, yeah. You know what's even funnier than the show? And I go, what? He goes, the idea of you actually sitting there and writing a screenplay.
No, but that's what I
said, go fuck yourself.
No, I'm not trying to insult you. I'm trying to say it's interesting that you actually had that thought. I've never had that thought.
Dude, I have a lot of good thoughts. You know what happens, bro? I forget them at night. That's what happens. Yeah. Do you not know what I do every night?
That's why I wanted to bring this up. That's why I wanted to bring it up because I'm like, I wrote this down even.
I'm a great guy. I remember a lot of things, and then I come up with a lot of fucking ideas. I spend a lot of time on myself, man. I come up with a lot of good things. The one thing is, I never fucking write them down. I never write anything down.
That's why you need to get on a fucking mic and record these thoughts for the people at home and make your own fucking
Stoner
show.
Thoughts. There we go.
Yeah, so... do it already then. The fucking the streets are talking. People want this content. Streets is talking.
If I would have started Stoner Talk fucking 5 years ago, man.
Bro, Streets is talking. People have wanted the show.
Stoner Talk. That's it, bro. People are calling in live.
There you go.
That's it, guys. You guys can call in live. I gotta set it all up. Fuck it. I gotta do it.
All right, there you go, guys. Talk. Let's see it.
I don't know if I want to do it with somebody or by myself yet because sometimes it's hard when you're stoner to talk with two people. Right? Only because you get back and forth. See, Niko stays sober. He has a drink, so he's able to hold the conversation and then once I get to a certain point, I can start holding it up. But, it's just the way it works out. It's just, freaking frack over here.
Yeah, I'd join you on the show if I was drunk or something like that.
No, but you know what? I'm going to get one day, never mind. I can't even say it on.
We'll talk behind the scenes. We'll take behind the scenes here.
Off air because I can't tell. I can't give away this idea.
Yeah,
this idea would be good even for Niko to watch.
Well, I'm interested to see Stoner Talks or whatever the fuck it's called. Yeah.
Well, this weekend. This is actually the weekend before. But you ready for this weekend or what? You ready to have a
good time? Shout out to her.
Shout out to Niko.
By the time this airs, yeah, shout out to me.
One day, shout out to Niko. But yeah, shout out to Niko. Yeah, he's having a bachelorette. No, no. Shout out to Louis and Christina. No.
Yeah, Lewis is having his stag this weekend, so
whatever
to
you
raise
call
money.
it, Jack and Jill stag thing. I don't know.
You're right. Well, Jack and Jill's when you do it with the wife.
Oh, he's not doing it with the wife.
No, it's just him.
Well, where's all the naked broads then? Like, seriously.
So, yeah, shout out to Lewis. He's a friend of the show, been a guest a couple of times on the show. Somebody actually we've been talking to have back on the show, and hopefully we will soon once we get that third mic hooked up for him, which is in the works. But by the time you guys hear this, we'll have already
be
attended.
The fifth mic.
Well, yeah, but a third mic like these new ones for the new setup.
Technically, we can say, oh, never mind. Go on, yeah.
By the time this airs, we'll have already gone to that, so we'll have to give you an update on it the next week. So
see how much money we raise from.
Also, hopefully, a return back to form with Jay doing the show notes for you guys once again.
Because Niko's been busting my balls all week. He has. I'm not even joking. I tried to throw him off with a compliment earlier with the trade talk, but you
never got that compliment out.
He jumped right in. I tried to throw that in first so that he would feel like a dick.
What were you gonna say?
Insulting? No, I was saying, good job with fucking putting out all these fucking shows, man. You have a lot of talking to do. You've been coming out with them like nonstop, and just before I got here, you just said you finished recording next week's one or whatever, right? Or the next whatever. The next release is one, right?
Actually, that reminds me too. The newest episode of me talking about the Titans season 2 on Death's Door Productions.
Shout out Death's Door.
On
let
SoundCloud.
You back on.
Yeah, they let me back on. I'm on this newest episode talking about episodes 3 and 4 of Titans season 2. So go check that out if that interests you. It's basically it's called like a Let's Watch. People do them on the internet. It's when the people that are doing the show watch the shows live together, and we comment on it. The intention is really if you want to watch the show and listen to our commentary along with it, you have the option to, or you can just sit there listening to us talk shit, but you won't really have the reference for it unless you're watching the show with us. You know what I mean?
You'd have to sit there and actually watch it episode for episode and pause it every time.
It's a little different, like from when we go and review a movie that we've both watched, because we give you guys the opportunity to go and watch it and then come and listen to us talk about it. We talk about scenes that we liked, and you know what I mean? This is kind of like, you have to watch the show while listening to us, kind of thing, to get the most enjoyment out of it, right? So
so it's kind of different, but it's a different style, but it's kind of cool. I mean, it's everything is always unique.
I think it's popular because like people do that with like streaming of video games nowadays. They do that thing called Twitch where people just
watch it live, right? Like
they do run through games. Yeah, that's like got famous. Like
my nephews are always watching that. Like certain ones, just so they can figure out
Fortnite. Like
the youngest one is watching Minecraft, which I thought was funny, right?
Which I never understood that whole thing of watching like shit like people playing games. I'd rather just go out and play the game. But I mean, people like doing it now because like they get to see how other people actually play. Like, you know what I mean? It's like you're in the room with these pro players that will kind of show you how they do it, right? So like I understand why there's an interest behind it. I keep my I mean, fuck, we do this here, which even to you when we first started, it seemed like ridiculous to you. Like you kind of, I don't think it's that you didn't understand it, but you were kind of like,
what the fuck?
The whole concept of it. Yeah, that's exactly.
And all that stuff.
Even me, the YouTube thing that we do now, I wasn't very into it at first. Now I'm okay. I'm like a little bit more comfortable, but I'm not at the point yet where we've put any other content than this show on the page.
Yeah, we're only comfortable together.
I would eventually like to do maybe something with the comic stuff on YouTube.
Well, because you can at least show pictures and stuff
YouTube
you're talking about.
Way more people watch YouTube than they listen to podcasts now, I find. You know what I mean? Like I thought it was at one point it was like the
other way around.
Yeah. I think at one point it may have been, but now it seems like
it all depends too. If you have YouTube if you actually subscribe to YouTube, you could download them right now. So you can actually listen to them while you're, let's say, driving or whatever, and have it still on the side without looking at it. But you can still. But I mean, really, if people listen to SoundCloud's still out there because people still stream a lot of stuff while they're driving, right? You can't literally
watch a video.
Watch us, while you're driving, obviously.
Well, that's the thing. That's why we're going to continue to offer both options for you guys. So no matter how you guys check it out, we appreciate you if you have stuck with us.
Yeah, I know. That's what I said. They stepped it up too. I mean, there's more subscribers, there's more listeners on SoundCloud. I don't know. That's what I'm saying. I have a feeling it's got a lot to do with your trade talk. That's why I was trying to give you the shout out, because it went from like fucking one day, it went up like almost 10 people on SoundCloud.
Hopefully,
right?
hopefully.
And I have a feeling that's guaranteed. That's got to do with tags and stuff for that trade talk. It can't be people liking to listen to us all the time. It's guaranteed. Got to do with the books that you read. No, I'm serious. You must give good reviews,
right?
But you do give good reviews when it's on things you like that. Trust me. I mean, I know the way you suck up knowledge. Right?
Yeah, I mean, I like talking about things I'm passionate about. I like getting into,
which is everything, just about almost.
Right. I like talking about things that interest me. Right. If you, and I'm also somebody who, like, if I'm starting to learn something or there's something I'm into, I try to learn everything about that thing. You know what I mean? Like, I really, as much as I can, I try to kind of, like, you know what I mean, like, absorb all that information on something. You know what I mean, that I'm really into. So I'm like a sponge in a way that way. Right. So.
No, it makes sense.
Yeah. So.
It makes sense. It totally makes sense.
Yeah.
No, but I was watching that. I was telling you too the other day too with my nephew. They have that. He gives that thing.
Oh yeah! Shout out to that what's it called? The hospital.
Haunted Hospitals. I think it's called Haunted Hospitals. I think he did a little cameo there. That's his first appearance, like people would say in the comic
Kids
book
blowing up, bro. Kids blowing up. Yeah, it's his first appearance.
This is his first
on
role.
TV, on TV, right? Yeah, that's
scene.
Pretty cool, man.
But you know what's funny is that he hasn't even watched it yet.
What is he? One of those actors? That
no, he can't watch it. Like
I
think it's too scary. I don't think his dad will let him watch it. He's only fucking 9 years old, bro. Right. He's not gonna. You know what I mean? That's a little freaky. Out of all three of them, he's more of the softie.
Do you have a complex already like that? You know, those actors are like, I can't watch my performance.
No. He would watch it. Like if he watches his ones on the Toys R Us one that he did.
Right.
And I'm still waiting to see that other one, that Ferrari one, right?
You know what though? I get that. That's hard. Everyone's their own worst critic, bro. Like even me. Like me, I don't know if you've noticed, but now I finally reached the place with us putting out the podcast. Like, even if it's not perfect, I'm trying not to go back and edit every fucking little thing nowadays. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's out there, bare bones and all. We try to do our best. I think we also have gotten better at this to the point where we don't need to edit
so much.
Absolutely. But so pat on the back to us for that for sure. But but also it's just like, I don't, I'm fucking, I used to take so much fucking time. You know what I mean? Like, because like, I'm just
to pick everything apart. I know.
Yeah.
At the end.
Because I really felt like I need to put out the best product that we can of this thing. Right. Yeah. To the point where like, it would stress me out.
Started driving you nuts.
Right. So I've kind of taken a step back from, you know what I mean? Like trying to be like that. Yeah. And I'm back to enjoying it more as a result. You know what I mean? Like sometimes
you think about it. You went up and started 3 shows all of a sudden. It gets a little bit crazy. Then you wanted to get to editing. And now that once we've got everything settled basically right now, we're all set in kind of thing.
But it's not only that. Like it's because of all that work I've already put in at the start, like it's gotten easier for me too. Yeah. Right? You know what I mean? Yeah. So like it doesn't take me as long to do any of that shit anymore now as well. But yeah, it's also just like, you know what I mean? Like just trying to have more fun with it and not to the point where I think we're putting out any shitty shows or anything like that. Like I still try my best, but you know, it's just like one of those things where you get too caught up in the moment sometimes and you turn around and that's why I said that was the reason why some of the shit I regret now that even happened with me and P when we did Real Talk, right? Yeah. Is that towards the end there, you know what I mean? Like it became like not as fun, you know what I mean? Like, and I was definitely a little too serious about it towards the end. Like, you know what I mean?
Well,
like,
I know. Yeah. So I've heard about that story, you know, but that's what's a good thing. But sometimes it's a good thing to be serious about stuff, but maybe not over serious if it's more of a hobby and a passion of yours that you like doing right away. Otherwise, you're going to drive yourself away from it. You know, you would think with certain things you can hope to enjoy. You hold back enough where you can do it enough where you just enjoy it, where it's not something that's going to drive you fucking nuts.
Well, that's the thing. As much as I like to give you shit on here for things that you may have not done at the start, or like, you know what I mean, even to this day, like I said, I was just giving you shit about not doing the show notes and being happy that our shows have been going back out on time and this and that. You know, I'm also, you've seen me have several meltdowns doing this show in 50 something episodes, right? Like I've not been the most easiest person person to work with sometimes as well. And as you can see,
it's easy to brush off, but
I
get what you're
see
saying.
where maybe things went wrong before even, you know what I mean? Like when you have creative people working together, like it gets to that point.
It gets to the point where you bump heads, right?
And I'm not
saying there's not going to be more times if we bump heads, bro. That's still,
No, but I'd rather
thousands of episodes to put out.
I'd rather it be like that though, because it means that we're still both care about what we're doing.
Yeah, exactly. Once we stop talking about it on a regular, then we're fucked. Because a lot of time we talk about it before we even come on the show. That's how much we're used to doing this, and then after it gets kind of weird, we got to remember, okay, hold back on that. We'll talk about, like, let's just say work stuff when we're with each other, because we don't talk about it on the show.
Right.
Certain private stuff that we don't talk about on the show, right?
Well, that's the thing, and then you also don't want to kind of leave it all for the air either, because then where's our actual friendship?
Yeah, exactly. Where's it gone?
This?
Yeah, it's gone just to here.
So that's why it's important, even like you and me, like getting together, like we said about Lewis's thing this weekend. We're gonna hang out a little bit together, so that's good. You know what I mean? I know we don't even do that too much week to week, but again, we got our own things going on. We're busy. That's why I'm glad we get to do this. But it's just about finding that fine line. And I think you even trying to explain that to some other people that we may have even got more involved with shows and stuff like that didn't get that.
No.
Right? So, like, you know what I mean?
I was... you were saying just too about Lewis's thing this weekend. Sorry, you keep bringing that up, and I keep skipping it. And I thought about it. And, well, you said my uncle's coming down, and he wants to, because I was gonna tell I'm off the following day. I should have just threw it out there and told Peter, you pay for my gas like an Uber man. We'll drive you back and bring it back and forth. Remember, somebody's sober that day, not you guys, but I will be.
Yeah.
Right, but I don't know if he didn't want to rely on me. I should have just threw it out there, right? But I don't know. It's probably better if we get Uncle Ed down there. Then he can hang out. Me and him will hang out. He's not going to be drinking.
Yeah, it'll be good. It'll be good to hang out with everybody.
He won't be drinking, so he can hang out with me. You know what I mean? You get what I'm saying?
Yes, I got it.
You get what I'm saying?
You're like,
you get what I'm saying now, don't you? So, but yeah, no, fuck.
Yes, we get it, Jay.
No, I can't talk about that kind of stuff.
No,
Jaden listens.
No.
Jesse thinks Jesse doesn't like what
I thought he
Jaden
doesn't listen anymore.
I don't know, but whatever. I always tag him in it. If he listens once in a while, like I said, he thinks it's too long a lot of the times. That's just his short attention span at 13. If it's not a 15-second skit,
look around the net, man. No, but look around the net. A lot of the popular podcasts, not that we're that popular, but a lot of them they go for a couple hours, man.
Yeah, I know.
So
and then, but yeah, that's where you get to pick it apart. That's if they want to sit there all day and record after they got nothing to do after work, or yeah, that's literally they just sit there and record from after work until they go to sleep. Right? I mean, there's some people that's their life, right? They just don't have anything outside of that, right? They sit in a room like this. No?
I was thinking of putting a chair in here. What do you think about that? Like
where?
Where? This table, the computer table behind us there won't be there, and like a chair so I can actually sit in here and read and shit. That'll be all right.
Oh, like a lazy boy.
Yeah, like a library type.
Then we'll be sitting up there, man. We'll be right up.
Oh no. We'll fix it up. Don't worry.
This is a wall right here behind you guys. Look, this is right here. Bang. Oh. There's nothing behind us. He's full of shit.
Yeah.
It's not 3D.
What else? Is there anything else you want to mention?
2D? I don't know what they call that.
2D is it's when it's like it's flat.
And like this, right? Like
we're
watching ourselves on now, right?
Yeah.
How do we make it 3D?
Well, I don't know if you fucking.
I have to ask Julie. I have to ask you, Julie. She's gonna give me shit now. She's been saying, I've been saying that the whole time.
That's phase.
Do 3D.
That's phase 2. That's phase 2. First was our audio equipment. Phase 2 is our video.
Yeah, next thing you'll need goggles, like 3D goggles. That would be sick.
Me and Jay are going to be able to come give you props through the fucking phone. We're like, hey, what up?
Could you imagine that? Like that close, his head, like right popping out of your TV.
I'm not a fan of 3D.
Right,
I don't even like,
the
theaters, they have 3D movies now. I don't usually go to see the 3D movies.
No, it gives me a headache. I don't think it took off as big as it did when they came out with the TVs, everything. I don't think it did.
Back in the day, it was like a novelty. Like, you remember we used to go to like a drive-in, and it'd be like new Freddy Krueger movie in 3D. Remember that? And then it was just like
but that was kind of different. That was kind of cool. It was a horror movie.
No, that's what I'm saying. That was cool.
Yeah.
And it didn't happen that often.
Yeah.
Now it's like every fucking movie they're shooting in 3D technology. So like not everyone, but all the big blockbusters.
Well, and a lot of those things have a lot of things happening in it, so it's bad for the eyes.
And a lot of them aren't even actually shot in true 3D. So a lot of them they actually convert to it after the fact, and then the movie actually doesn't work as well in a 3D format. It just will kind of pop out slightly. But then there's other movies where they actually do things and put effects in it because they actually shoot it in 3D as well, because then they got like multiple camera lenses going on.
Yeah, it takes a lot more money.
That's what I mean. That's what I mean. But if you're looking to do something like that, right? Like if I don't know if the films were shot that way, probably not. But like something like a Star Wars or something, if there's like space fights and stuff going on, and like
they fly right by you.
Yeah, now that's a movie you want to do that for. A movie that you know you're gonna make bank on. If you want
But you don't want to have a million scenes. Like that's another thing too. I always say, like, you don't want to have everything looking like it's being thrown at you or tossed. And once in a while, there's something. Yeah, like 3D is nice. Like to watch it on a flat screen, it looks like it's 3D. But to have stuff being thrown behind you and stuff like that, to have it the whole time, like when you get to these cartoon movies and all that stuff that they do 3D, it gets too much on the eyes, man.
Right.
It's hard on the head. You get yourself. I can give myself a headache, man.
Right.
It's not that for me. I have the epilepsy, but it doesn't affect me that way, right?
Right.
But it just affects me with a headache. You know?
Did you end up? Quick question: did you end up getting caught up on kidding?
Yeah.
Did you see Tyler the Creator was on the fucking episode? What the hell, guys?
He's got everybody on.
First, Ariana Grande is on an episode, then you have fucking Tyler the Creator, and he was awesome on it, man. Like,
I thought I knew him, and I had to look it up.
Right.
Bro. I was like, where the fuck?
Yeah, it's Tyler the fucking Creator. Who? I have a question for you. Does that thing actually, that these dementia awards where they actually play out your like what they think's going on, is that real or is that made up for the show? I've never heard of that before.
The one that he was getting an award for?
No, like, you remember where he met Tyler? He worked at like a dementia ward, like where people that are old.
Oh yeah. That actually, no, I thought about that.
Does that exist?
Sounds like a good idea.
Right. That's what I mean. I'm like,
that sounds actually smart.
If that doesn't exist,
he should patent it.
Right.
Yeah.
I was like, does this, like, did they actually do this? Because, like, yes, in a way, you're
lying to the person,
right?
But you know what? You're making that person safe,
and like enjoying their lives,
whatever they have left,
to some degree. Yeah.
Because dementia could really just eat you alive, and it could literally kill you.
Well, that's my fear, bro. Losing my
friend of my dad's,
way of thought, of
thinking.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, if you, I don't. That's scary to me.
He had dementia and stuff and diabetes, and he just lost. He just passed. Right. He was only in his early 70s.
Right.
Younger guy. Like, he was older than like my dad, but we used to play baseball when I was a teenager in high school.
Right.
We used to have a baseball league in badminton.
Okay.
I used to play badminton.
Yeah.
He used to set this up. This guy Jim. And yeah, he had just passed. But I don't know if it's the dementia itself or if it's the dementia not helping you take care of your diabetes properly, managing that the right way. I meant maybe it's a number of things.
Right. So basically in the show, guys, if you haven't seen it, in the Kidding show that we talked about, Jim Carrey stars in it, and he's like a Mr. Rogers type guy. There's a scene in it where he gets away for a bit from the family, and he's supposed to be getting like a lifetime achievement award, and the award show is going on, and he's not there, and he's running late, and they're all worried about where he is. Meanwhile, he's going and helping. You find out he's been helping at this like dementia ward place where they have it set up, and Tyler the Creator like runs it, like he works there, where they have it so like there's people there with dementia. Yeah, where they have these scenarios set up and like fake bars. Like you see him and he's working in a bar and talking to these old men, and you're like, why the fuck is he working in the bar like Jim Carrey? And then he goes behind a door in the back like for a moment, and you see like behind the scenes like everybody getting dressed up and doing all this shit, and they have a whole prop bar set up so he can pretend that he works at the bar and
the bartender,
right. And then you go and there's a woman that's sitting at a bus stop that apparently seems to be his mom. I don't know what that's all about.
This is throwing me off.
It's a trippy fucking show. Like, you don't know what's real. And then the biggest fucking question I have for you,
I know what you're gonna say
is
now.
What the hell's going on with his dad?
He had a stroke, bro.
No, but like
he had a stroke, and I think he had an onset of dementia.
Induced coma or something.
No,
like,
I think he had an onset of dementia, and that just kicked it up a notch. The stroke. So he's thinking that he sees his ex-wife.
Right. But he's having sex with a fucking black man.
A black male, yeah. And unfortunately, it could happen. It's possible, dude. Think about it.
You can
if you have dementia to the point where you're not recognizing, bro, there's people that don't recognize their own sons.
No, but to have, so he was fine one moment. Then he had the stroke. Then directly after having the stroke, he sees someone he thinks to be his.
Yeah, but they said it was a bad stroke. It wasn't a light stroke. He didn't have a light one there. I mean, if you paid attention, it was a, and they said there was more to come.
Can you slip that quickly into dementia after that, though? Like where you're
I don't know. That's why I'm wondering if it's real or not, because nobody's actually seen it. But the grandkid has gone over twice.
But the weirdest thing,
grandson.
No, I know, but he couldn't get in the house. I
No,
know, but
he
the
says,
weirdest
"Are you
thing,
in the
weirdest thing is
harm of dying
that the other guy is just going along with it. Like, you know what I mean? Like this gay black man
feels like he's swept off his feet by some rich old man. Think about that.
But it's so fucking weird because there's a
relationships are like that.
There's a scene because you see him, us as a viewer, we see his like supposed ex-wife trying to push his head down like she wants him to like eat her out, but meanwhile it's the guy trying to get a blowjob from this
he
fucking
turned it the other way around and did it the other way, and he got one from the black
guy.
I
know, but
yeah,
but they keep cutting scenes. So one movie you see this woman, and then they cut into a scene, and it's like
the mirror or whatever is there, and you actually see the black guy. Yeah, you actually see who you see instead of what he sees.
But here's the thing though, they don't explain what's like. They just jump right into it.
The best part.
No, I know, because they want you as a viewer to figure it out for yourself, and they don't. You know, I know it's smart. That's why it's a smart show.
Yeah.
No, but I'm just saying they don't take the moment to be like, oh, obviously this is what's happening. They just jump right into it, and they're like, okay, figure it out later. And like the first episode, had no idea. I'm like, why is that person a black guy? And I was like,
it's almost like life. But
and then the next episode, like they get more into it, and you're like, okay, what the fuck is going on here? Like it's so. And then meanwhile, the sister loses the fucking Mr. Pickles dildo.
It's almost like you're watching. Oh my god, that was the best. It wasn't Mr. Pickles dildo. It was the
pickle vibrator that came in cereal, but it was a Mr. Pickles one.
Oh my god, she had her brother up on top of her spinning.
And then the ex-wife has to come and help get it out of her.
Oh my god! And then she just pops it right out, right onto the floor.
I'm like, this show is insane. Like, what's going on here?
Yeah, but it's awesome, man. Not even a joke. Like it really is. It's not even it's very creative. There's always the two episodes which you're wondering what's going on, but they put so much into that one little half-hour episode,
right?
That it's awesome. Like you feel like you're taking in so much, and the best thing is it's almost like you're looking at it through their eyes. Like you're looking at it through his eyes at one point, like through the grandfather's eyes,
right? And
then you're looking at it through your own eyes. You know, I like the way that's sort of like I guess a style of directing.
Right.
It's really, really cool in that sense. I didn't realize how much I would actually, since I've been watching a lot of TV and stuff like that, how much I would pick like things apart in TV as much. You know what I mean?
Right.
I always thought I would, you're tripping me out, bro. Sorry, man. I'd always thought that it was, cool. I don't know why it wasn't that cool. Like,
right.
I don't know. I lost my train of thought. That fucking thing just started scrolling by itself.
iTunes just scrolling there. Jay was like, "What the hell's
going on? Is my eyes going fucked up?"
Anyways, no. I should put. we should put a stop.
That's trying to tell us that we're hitting
time.
It's
our
my
mark
nephew
here.
telling me, saying, "Hey guys, we're getting too long."
Okay, guys. So this was great. I actually like this episode a lot. It was kind of
always those weird ones always turn out weird because we have a good talk, man. That's why. I don't know if people like our talks, but we do.
I like doing this every few episodes where we kind of don't really have much to say and we just come here with whatever, right? So hopefully you guys enjoyed as well. Let us know in the comments below if you're watching this on YouTube or on SoundCloud. Let us know, guys.
Yeah, don't forget to subscribe.
Yeah, subscribe to the page. Hit that like button. Okay, so my way back playback for today, as we've reached the end of the show, is a Chamillionaire song. Now, Chamillionaire is a rapper a lot of people seem to forget these days. He's kind of fell off the map. I don't really know if he's current in terms of rapping. What I do know is that he made a lot of smart investments back in the day when he blew up. Apparently, a lot of things in not retail. Yeah, exactly. Real estate,
property. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna. I almost said retail. I meant real estate. Yeah, and based off of that, as well as some tech stuff, he also put money into. I guess into the tech business. business.
Investments, yeah.
You don't really hear from this guy anymore these days. So I don't know if he's current at all. I don't know if he's ever like, you know what I mean? Like if he's like,
I don't think, yeah. I mean, I haven't heard
don't
anything in
know,
years.
yeah.
I doubt it. Like, I mean, this stuff you're going back to like early 2000s, right?
Yeah, well, this song in particular is from 2008, so this is a way back. I was talking about 12 years ago, but back in the day when Chamillionaire came out with that first album, which I think he won a Grammy for, actually, if I'm not mistaken.
He was Riding Dirty.
Yeah, the Riding Dirty.
It's funny, he had a bunch of mixtapes, but Riding Dirty is the one that hit him
Right.
went big, and then that was it. He stopped after that.
I was about to say, he came out with another album after that, but it wasn't as critically as he claimed as the first one, and then it kind of just felt like he kept going with the mixtapes, like he was a big part of the mixtape game, and I think
he was a mixtape messiah, bro.
That's right. And he came out with the Mixtape Messiah series.
Yeah.
That's right. He had like several of those, and a bunch of other ones too after that, that weren't called that. And South rapper, very lyrical. And what I actually liked about this guy was he was a rapper that didn't swear either. Like he was
Not much,
his
if he
content, very little, if any. His content was, clean,
radio content.
cleaner than most.
Most
like
radio
he
content,
talked
really.
about certain things, but like he wasn't like your regular like drug dealing fucking, like, you know what I mean, like New York rapper talking about stabbing people and
More
shit.
like
But
in
like
the club all ages.
I wouldn't even
In a
go
way,
that far.
yeah.
He rode that line very well. Like
Yeah.
he kind of like, because look,
He coulda jumped back
bro,
and
the
forth
song
both
"Riding
ways.
Dirty," what
Yeah.
he's talking about there is
Yeah,
riding
but he
with
was
drugs,
able
right?
subliminal. Yeah, he's subliminal.
So-
Writing. He's just writing it in a different meaning. That's all.
Or riding with a gun or whatever.
Yeah.
That's what he's basically saying
Yeah.
in that song. But that's what I mean. He's playing it in a certain way, like where, like, you know what I mean. Like if you get it, you get it. If you don't, you don't. He's not spelling it out for you. He's not using the cuss words. He's not presenting it in a fucking, you know what I mean. Like
I always liked that he always had some videos, or he always had little skits, where he did little skits himself, where he acted up, and he was like he was like three different guys. He played the white cop, or he played like in Riding Dirty, the video, and in that one. But he also did it for a few other ones. Right, here we go again. But yeah, so it actually worked out. Like, it was pretty cool, I thought.
Well, it's funny that you bring that up, because the song today that I'm gonna actually play for you is from Mixtape Messiah 4, and I mean, I have lots of
There's a
songs
shitload,
by
yeah.
him on my computer, guys, and like I also felt like he was just a rapper that didn't really get appreciated outside of maybe the mixtape game at that point for a long time, and like even the people that were rap fans back then, I think he was an underappreciated guy because he actually was very lyrical, for a South rapper too, and like again, like he wasn't. His
That was also when the South rappers, there was
right,
a lot of big South rappers.
Like he came out. He was at one point back in the day, I guess, but he separated from them. He was part of that whole Swisha House things with Mike Jones and fucking Slim Thug, and like he came from the same place. Like what's that guy, Paul Wall? That guy, he was cool with all of them, and then they kind of had a falling out. I think he had a falling out with them in the label, so these guys had careers in the South and were huge in the South prior to even them becoming big with to our rap, like you know what I mean, like so like for
The extent of
exactly
our
like
genre, their era.
yeah, so they were big in their own respective areas in the South before even like he became mainstream with that Riding Dirty single on that first CD, right? So so I just figured this is a good time just to tell you guys how much he actually was a rapper I enjoyed back in the day with these Mixtape Messiah series, as well as this song. This song is the reason I picked this song is because it's actually very impressive what he does on this song. So it's called Roll Call Reloaded, and it's from Mixtape Messiah 4, and this song he actually raps in the styles of many other popular rappers at the time, to the point where he actually changes his voice and his flow, and not even just the flow, just like the way they would rap, like the things they would rap about, the like their cadence, their style. Like he actually emulated like 20 different rappers on this song, while actually keeping it going as an actual song at the same time. So I just felt it was really impressive, and things that people didn't give him, like, didn't, you know what I mean? Like, why weren't people talking about this song more? I felt like they just, like, it was an impressive feat for a mixtape rapper from the South to be busting out songs like this. And he on these Mixtape Messiahs, he had another few songs that me and Jay were talking about earlier before. They had like an internet nerd revenge series, where on like each Mixtape Messiah he had like a return to this concept of this record, and it was always like these guys on the internet talking shit to him, like internet nerds, like basically that would talk shit on the forum boards about Chamillionaire, about mixtapes and stuff like that. And he would actually play the internet nerd talking, and you could hear like typing sounds in the background of him. Like, oh yeah, fuck you, you mixtape sucks. And then like he was actually like rapping while doing that, but talking about what the guy was commenting to him online. And then like sometimes he would do that and he would reply as himself. So he'd be actually rapping as himself, replying to the internet nerds as well, right? So like it was actually kind of cool. Like things like that, like creative, right? You know what I mean? Like that's what I really respected about him. No one else was doing that kind of stuff back then. And to be honest, no one's doing that kind of stuff today, right?
Yeah,
so
there's a lot of music. He put out a lot of mixtape music.
Right. So anyways, without further ado, Roll Call Reloaded of a Mixtape Messiah 4. Because the internet's the internet nowadays and everything's streaming, I'm sure that these mixtapes, because he basically just jacked everybody's beats on these, aren't available to you on Spotify. So it might be hard to find, but if you go on YouTube, I guarantee you it's there. So just YouTube it.
You can find it.
Yeah, exactly. No, it is harder to come by.
They
some
are
mixtape.
harder.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's why if you can find a discography or whatever and get the whole thing,
right?
Like
get the whole thing, yeah, exactly.
I've done that once, and I have it on one of my SD
like
cards.
a zip file,
but
or
I can't
something.
remember. Yeah, I can't remember, or a torrent or some sort.
Torrent, yeah, that's what I meant.
Yeah, so yeah.
So there you go. All right, Mixtape Messiah 4, Roll Call Reloaded, Chamillionaire. We'll see you guys next time. Thanks for tuning in.
Subscribe later.